Hello, welcome back to another episode. So today, yeah, if you guys remember from last time, this thing kind of went kaboom. So now we have to build it all back up. Um, to be honest, all we really need to do is just get the glass again and fill in all of this. For the simple fact that I am deciding to not be stupid, and I'll have it at a burn rate of like probably 1 millibucket at most. We have quite a bit of fuel still left over. If you weren't here for the last one, basically what happened is we made this, it explodified because I had it at the max burn rate of like 30 millibuckets, and it was doing just fine. But then what happened is I did a little oopsies, and when I put in the next barrel, it was already at 30 millibuckets, so it didn't have time to get like water into the system. So it overheated because there wasn't enough water, and then it went kaboom, which is pretty cool, I would say. So, anyways, yeah, we'll go fix that today. Okay, everything is done and dusted with it. It is turns out didn't lose all of the water and didn't lose all of the fissile fuel, so we actually have quite a lot of bit left into it. But it also still had damage on it, so now the damage is going down, which is really nice. Which has led me to an interesting question of whether or not if I just broke a block, if that would have prevented it from explodifying. Critical fuel waste. This one is going to be damage critical. And I guess that will be insufficient fuel. So, anyways, yeah. But the damage is going down slowly, so hopefully it won't be damaged. As you can see, we have less fuel rods in here, which means we can't have it as high of, you know, bucket burn rate. But to be honest, I don't think we can sustain a really high bucket burn rate to begin with, so we're not going to have it at too high. I don't know if turning it on will reduce the, will, like, have the damage reduce. Actually, let's test that. What? Holy cow, that used so much water before it... I was about to freak out. Oh, it's at burn rate of 10, I see. So it didn't reset either, back down to 0.1. I see. Okay, it's at 54%. Does it go down? Okay, it does go down. I'm actually going to bring this back down to, I don't know, like 5 millibucket burn rate, just to be safe. And we'll just have that do its thing in the background, making some steam, making us 1,000,000 power? That's crazy. Well, eventually this thing's going to fill up on fuel, and then it's actually just going to be a steam. It's just going to fill up on steam. I'm not sure if that's a good thing. If I remember correctly, doesn't... If this fills up with steam, and this fills up with steam, does it just turn off, or does it explode? I don't... That started going down really fast. That's not a good sign. Huh. There's no water in the pipe. Okay, so, okay. Well, I figured out what I'm going to do now. I'm going to get a bunch of more electric pumps, and I'm going to make sure it does not explode because of that. So, yeah, I'll get that done and dusted, and I'll be right back. We are back. So we went ahead and got all of this set up. All of these things are fully upgraded with speed and energy efficiency. We got the plug on this. We got all of the pipes, all the ultimate tier ones. The energy cables didn't need to be ultimate. I think we could have actually gotten away with advanced, but we have so much elite, not elite, reinforced alloy that we could make the elite pipes. I'm lazy, so this is staying hero, so. Then this thing is all filled up. It no longer has any damage on it. And, we went ahead and used the thing on this real quick just to also make sure all of these pipes have a bunch of water on them. So now everything has lots of water. This thing should be totally safe from any stupidity. Hopefully. We'll see about that. We also expanded the platform by quite a bit, and I started using glowstone every 4 blocks, so that way it looks nice. I think we might be expanding it that way, and then I kind of want to switch out all of the lights for the glowstone whenever I can, so yeah, I'm going to probably do that, like a little bit of cosmetics, go that way, everything like that, right? We also made a bunch of extra fizzle fuel. I got a little bit distracted. I also realized that I didn't even have the chemical upgrade on this, which makes it 16 times more effective with the sulfuric acid, which really started helping with this. We actually ran out of uranium. We also went ahead and got all of these with tier 3 upgrades. As you can see, tier 3. This one was already tier 3. This one's now also tier 3. So everything's tier 3 upgrade now. So we're making a lot of stuff like that. We brought from the reinforced obsidian from all the way down below to up top, so that way we can actually make flux easier, just so that way it's less annoying. And then we have windmills up top, which is something we did actually in the last episode, but I kind of forgot to show any footage of that. So yeah, we made wind generators up top, and to go up, you can go down like this. It doesn't quite take you to like the exact top, but it's fine. Bunch of wind gens. Pretty cool. I know. And then we also have a plug right there to bring all of the generation of power down back to here, and we have it deposit right here. So yeah, anyways, well, that's basically all I just did. So what I'm probably going to do next is probably turn this on. Actually, let's put it at 10 bucket burn rate. So hopefully it doesn't fill up with too much waste. These barrels should be fine in terms of waste, I think. Check how much. Oh, there's no water in that. Okay, that's not scary at all. And then this is full of water. It's actually staying pretty stable. So actually, I think we might be good. Hopefully. And then how much power are we producing? Quite a bit, actually. 2 mil. Alright. Oh, so I got these bonsai pots. That's what else I did. So, we have the dirt seed, inferium, dirt seed, trees. All of these are inferium. And what I'm figuring out is that the Fortune 2 hose I have are, like, basically giving me no extra stuff. So it's probably not worth wasting durability on them. Yeah. I almost had a oopsies moment. So, I relogged back in for a little while. I was just checking out some things. Happily, I was. Otherwise, this would have blown up again. Why? This filled up with steam, or I should say power, which then made it start filling up with steam. Why is that a bad thing? Because if it's not having steam go through it, then the water doesn't come back. And because the water didn't come back, it dropped like an absolute trucker. And yeah, there's like no water left in this system. And it almost went kaboom, if you catch my drift. As you can see, it had a little bit of damage. Happily I was here to turn it off. That could have been bad. I thought one of these was water, isn't it? High temperatures. No, none of these are water? None of these are water detectors? That's crazy. Anyways, point being, it almost went kaboom, Rico. That's... Huh. I don't know how I feel about that. So we're going to leave this off for now. I believe you can make a giant dynamic tank, if I remember correctly. So we might make a tank off to the side here and fill it with water, and then have the tank go back over to here and directly fill this. So that way we have a bunch of extra water storage. So we made the dynamic tank, expanded the area just a little bit more to have it. It is the max size tank you can have. It's a little, just a tiny bit overkill, but we are planning on eventually making the fission reactor much bigger than it is. It can hold 2 billion mega buckets, or about 2 million regular buckets. So, in Netherwoods, really freaking big. So, yeah, wouldn't mess with this thing if I were you. I'm just hoping that these two can pull the water fast enough, hopefully, through it, for it to be fine. Anyways, I also couldn't figure out how you... Bad. I can't figure out how you change this. Oh, it says there. Fill. Okay, so I have to make it first, and then you put these as fill. Empty, but what? Okay, I see. So, I guess you cannot change these at all. And... Okay. So instead I made where the pipes, you know, push on this side, empty on this side. Or, not empty. They pull out on this side, push in this side for this thing to function. I'm going to wait until this is more filled than it is before I activate the reactor again, because I don't want any kabooms, to be honest. And then I also need to light up top there, and I also need to put lights over here. So I'll do that. I'm mostly going to switch out all of the lights for glowstone, have them 4 blocks apart like I do. And I'll be back once I get all of that done. Okay, so now we're torch free. We even put some glowstone in the wall just to light up this little section here. I made one little oopsies at like the very start when I was doing this. I put this 3 blocks instead of, you know, everything else being 4 blocks. But everything else after this is 4 blocks. So it should be, fine. I mean, it's just slightly closer together. This thing has been filling up quite nicely with, lots of water. My only problem that I'm, like, realizing now is if I ever do want to expand my nuclear reactor, which eventually I do, I'm going to have to move it over here, probably. Which isn't, like, the biggest problem. I'm, like, fine with doing that. And the second thing is we probably need to cut off one of the rotors inside of there to put extra saturating vents, and also to have more turbine vents in general, so that way the throughput is better. I think we have plenty of water inside of here. We probably won't have to worry about it for like a hot sec. So, turn this thing on to 10. And the water is still going up in this, so yeah, we should be fine. I'm going to sit here and make sure this thing doesn't explode. That didn't take long. What? I'm so confused. Oh, does it have like a really abysmal output? Is that what I'm gathering from this? Okay, this filled up again. After quite a while. Ah. That might be a massive problem. Huh. Hmm. Huh. 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 I thought this thing would just work as like a big bucket, but I guess not. Interesting. I don't know why that is. Okay, it is definitely emptying. Okay, at what like millibucket rate does it like keep up with itself? Okay, at 1 millibucket it keeps up with itself. What about 5? It does not keep up with itself at 5. What about 3? Nope, not at 3 either. 2. It slowly loses at 2. Okay, so 2.8. No, I mean 1.8. 1.5. Okay, still loses at 1.5. 1.4. 1.3. Okay, it seems to keep itself going at 1.3. Is that just because this churns out every once in a while? Okay, so 1.2 might be better for this. Okay, so lesson learned. Turns out dynamic tank is not as good as I thought it was going to be. Maybe we just need more valves. I'll see if that fixes it. Okay, so finally got all of these valves set up. I had to make a bunch of more atomic alloy. So then I kind of like half automated process. I'll show that in a second. But first things first. This thing filling up with water very fast. Actually, how much power do these use? Not too much, actually. Surprisingly, very little. And wait, did it just say it? Okay, for a second there I thought I said 10. Anyways, so we have all of the outlets all going out of here. Now we're going to set it to 10. And this is keeping hold. It's dropping. It's going back up. It's dropping again. Okay. I have no clue, to be honest. Alright, it's definitely draining this. I don't know if that's making it pull faster. No, it's 100% making it pull faster, right? A 100%. the obsidian thing I made. So we have the chest with a bunch of cobblestone. Cobblestone gets moved around via the logic pipes and goes into all of these that have the superheating element, giving them a 60 burn rate. Then all of these make lava. Lava gets poured out by this, put into this, and then poured out and put into this. And then you just sit here with a water bucket, and it visually bugs out the water bucket, but it does still function. Then once you're done, let's say, yeah, you can just place it back down and pick it back up. And voila, you have tons of obsidian. So this thing pours water, puts it into here, and then you grab like a stack of dust. Soulsand and netherrack sieving done eventually. Oh, so blackstone. So netherrack. So all of the nether related items, I need to get those auto sieves done. I think I'll do that now. So I'll be back when I get that done. So this is the first voiceover of the video. As you can see, I got a little bit sidetracked, and I decided I was going to do the not the ender pearls, but the gateway pearls to be able to summon some mobs. Specifically because we kind of ran out of our passive mobs, and we kind of need wool. I know you can get string other ways, but we need wool to be able to make the muffle upgrades. And because all of the machines thus far do not have muffle upgrades, are annoying the absolute bejesus out of me. On top of that, the other reason why we're doing it is because of apotheosis gear, since we need a certain amount of apotheosis gear to change what world tier we are on, and since we need rare shards to be able to make the netherite upgrade, which is required for certain things, such as upgrading the sieve, and you need to upgrade the sieve to be able to get the skulk stuff to progress farther. So we also need to get, I believe it's endstone. You have to sieve endstone with a netherite sieve to be able to get the skulk stuff. So not only do we need to get endstone, which is something I forgot to say, we also need to get endstone, but then we also need to get the netherite sieve for that, which requires us to get the netherite upgrade, which requires us to have to get the rarity of stuff. And then we also need to, after we get the rarity of stuff, whatchamacallit, I forgot what you call it. Oh, salvage. I don't know why I blinked on salvage, but we have to salvage it to get the rare gem or shard, whatever it is, to then make the netherite upgrade. Yeah, so this isn't like completely pointless, but it's definitely not what I said I was going to do. Okay, so I can do it using like this method where we use like witch water and something else to make like the netherrack, the soulsand, and all of that. But then that's like overly complicated and annoying where you have to get a bunch of witch water to begin with, which is, let me just show you, not a fast process. So we would need like hundreds of barrels to be able to get like any amount of efficiency on that. So instead I went into mystical agriculture, as actually one specific seed, the nether seed, literally allows us to make all three of them. So that's actually crazy. Crazy good, that is. So yeah, we need to get that. But as an award for getting block, we get an infusion crystal. Now, the new one has where you have a bunch of these, right? The tiered crystals. Um, but the thing didn't get the memo, so now we have this thing. And it can't infuse anything. This is so that's an oversight. It's kind of funny. Um, so yeah, we have a useless crystal. So I'm trying to make the master crystal so that way we don't have to like constantly make crystals. Also because it can infuse any of them versus these ones that only can infuse that thing to that thing and that thing to that thing and that thing to that thing. That's the only thing they can do. They can't do anything below and they can't do anything above, but the master crystal can do all of it. I just need some insanium. So yeah, disappointed I can't use that to make proteum or whatever it is. Okay, second time with the voiceover. The reason why we're voiceovering this time is because initially I wanted to use magical agriculture like the last clip implied. However, I found out there's actually a much easier, faster, and simpler way. So, pretty much in every single aspect, it is just the better way to do it. And this is using create mod to bulk hunt. Since you can bulk hunt cobble into netherrack, no, cobble into blackstone, you can bulk hunt um the sand into soulsand. And although you can't do netherrack, I did find out that the netherrack, if you use the block generator, all you need to do is have lava on both sides, and it does not consume the lava. So that was just going to be an easier, faster way to do that to begin with. And I don't know why I ever, like, didn't look at all of my options. I just assumed that mystical agriculture was going to be the simplest way. And, what I started to realize is trying to actually auto-craft it all was going to be probably the hardest aspect of it, though the growing the crops probably wasn't going to be too hard on its own. Um, yeah, so instead, we're going to do bulk hunting to get all of that done, and it will be pretty good. And as you can see, you could do just 2 lava instead of having to do the witch water plus the lava, which does consume the lava. So it's just the better way to do that. I don't even know why they have the witch water plus lava if it's going to consume the lava if you could just put 2 lava. Anyways. Yeah. So, that's instead what we did. And then on the endstone side of things, endstone, kind of goofy. It isn't very easy to make, to be honest. The easiest way to make it for us currently just has to be making it through the freaking thing where you use lava sources. You lose the lava source, you keep the witch water. The other way that I was looking at was Volcanting, which we need a dragon head to get. So that's not going to be for a while. So yeah, top of my priority list getting that dragon head. Otherwise, we're just using bulk hunting for everything else, and the end stone, we're just going to have the method that I think you're meant to do at the beginning of the game. So, yeah. Okay, so it's been a hot second. I've done a little bit of AFKing. Somehow a witch and creeper spawned on this island. I thought I lit it all up. I guess not enough. So I'm screaming at my past self, since as you remember, I needed a rare item to salvage it to get the rare salvage item to make the netherite uh freaking template. Yeah, I thought I bought these. I guess I didn't. These are a rare item, as you can tell by them being blue, and I didn't buy them. So, anyways, it took me a lot longer to get them. Let's please see them. It should be fine. Anyways, we expanded quite a bit, as you can see. We broke 2 netherite building tools, the building sticks. I decided to go for the glowstone over here also, so we've removed most of the torches, have done glowstone everywhere else. It is not lined up to this, though it is equally distant away, so 4 blocks, 4 blocks. I don't know. I don't know. I liked the glowstone around the enchantment table because it looks nice. And then, I forget if I showed this on camera, but we have a hemp farm now. So the hemp farm, you can turn the hemp into, whatchamacallit. You can turn hemp into string and stuff, which is really nice. We got this thing running. It's a little bit goofy with the snow, you might notice. Also, additionally, when I initially placed the encased fans, my game went a little bit kaput in terms of, like, FPS. It, like, froze a little bit, so I'm not sure if that should be a concern for future things, but this is pretty simple. We're taking cobblestone out of here, because this just produces more cobblestone than this can use anyways. And that's saying something, because I took a bunch of cobblestone out of there, too. Like, I emptied the entire chest. So anyways, this goes ahead and pulverizes it into sand. Sand goes into here, drops out the chute. Then what happens is it goes into the bulk haunting. And once it turns into soulsand, as you can see the item filter that we have on that, it goes into this chest and gets transferred into here. And then this gets processed. We went ahead and also enchanted these because I learned you can enchant them. And voila, we get all of the goods. We have the prosperity on blockiform. And for this one, we have all of this, so we get the blocks of all the modium and a bunch of blackstone. Actually, thinking of it. Yeah. Compact blackstone. We also get a lot of ancient debris. Holy cow, are we good on ancient debris now. And both of these actually make us gunpowder, which I'm not really sure what we could realistically use it for, to be honest, for now at least. Then I also have this system in place to keep it from, like, lagging because there's so many items on the floor. So whenever there is an item in this chest, it says, oh no, there's items in the chest, and it turns it off. So it stops dropping items. But once this chest eventually gets close to, or once this chest empties, then it will drop a bunch of items down again, and then all of the items it drops on the floor will then turn into, blackstone, and then the blackstone goes into the chest, stops this from dropping more, and it just keeps doing that, if that makes sense. It doesn't quite work for the soulsand because I haven't injected the soulsand yet to make it where it has like a rhythm to it, so it's just been dropping sand every single time. So if we grab some compact soulsand that I have and throw some soulsand into it, that now, no, that's compact. It's really hard to see like the little black corner on it. As a slightly better explanation of how this system works, basically, when the sieve is full and the sieve can't hold anymore, instead its overfill will go into the chest. When the chest has any items into it, basically the sieve has overfull. It causes the chest above to not drop any of its blocks, which then leads to it holding the blocks, sand and cobblestone, respectively, for the blackstone and soulsand. Then what happens is once the sieve goes through all the blocks in the chest, so it has no more overfill, then the chest will start dropping stuff, leading to it turning a bunch of stuff into soulsand at once, or a bunch of stuff into blackstone at once, that then gets overfilled into the chest, which then keeps it from dropping more items until it eventually empties out and rinse and repeat. I, I forgot to actually make the netherrack. I'm just remembering that now. It's not too difficult. I'm just going to do this off camera to lava the generator with the netherrack underneath. It's the same as the cobble. But the endstone. So basically, the only things I can see that would be realistic is maybe the conjuration essence, but that requires like auto crafting and stuff. This, which I have no clue if this is like easy or not. It says 5% chance, and then it says 22% chance, and then 62% chance, or 100% chance. I don't know what changes the chances, or what makes them self-aware versus basic, advanced, or whatever. I don't know how to do any of this, and to be quite frankly honest, I'm not sure if it's worth it. Um, Alternatively, we could just do lava and glowstone, but that is very costly, to be honest. The other way is to use lava and witch water plus endstone. Or, I mean, witch water in lava and then glowstone at the bottom. And I think it consumes only the lava. If it's only the lava, this is fine. If it's the witch water, then this is going to be awful. And the only other way I found to do it, which is through create, needs a dragon head. To get a dragon head, you need dragon essence. There is no other way to get it other than quest awards. You can spawn the ender dragon, and then to get the dragon seeds, guess what? You need to kill the ender dragon. So then we made a prototype of how we would go get the lava down to be able to make the endstone. It's not really that fast, to be honest, but it is a way that works with mechanism, which is what we're doing. Now, simply for the fact of time, and I talk way too much, we went ahead, I'm just going to voice over the last bit of all of what happened. So we made this system, we have the superheater elements underneath all of those, we have a cobblestone generator going cobblestone into all of those, and they're all making lava and being poured out and into the system, and it is not making enough lava to really make that much endstone, to be honest. So I'm actually kind of disappointed about it. We don't really get too much resources from it, so eventually we're going to have to do bulk hunting no matter what, unless we want to make like 1,000 crucibles just to produce enough lava to feed this system. Because to be honest, it's not very good. Otherwise, what we are also wanting to do is actually go to the nether, because I was reading into the quest, and it turns out you can just get blaze rods from blazes in nether fortresses. So, yeah, we just went ahead and did that, because the only other way I was thinking you had to get blaze rods was doing the foundry, which was going to be a massive problem. And to be honest, I didn't feel like doing it because I didn't really have any reason to do it, but now we could just get it from blazes directly. Now we're going into the nether. Wow, fantastic. Isn't this amazing? It's basically an empty pit. Besides, bastions do not exist, by the way. but nether fortresses still do. I don't know if any other structure does, so like ruined portals. I'm not really sure if there's any other structures. I don't think there is, unless there's like modded ones. But basically, we just need to find another fortress, which it turns out you can find on your map pretty easily, which I accidentally found out. So I went ahead and just went that way and got it. Now, we don't really need to talk too much about what actually happened in the Nether Fortress. All you guys really need to know is I died once because it turns out literally frick everything spawns there because there's nowhere else for them to spawn. So there's about 10 million blazes, 10 million wither skeletons, and like the second I even got onto the Nether Fortress, I was already on like half HP, and I was being chased by an entire militia worth of wither skeletons. Um, so I ended up dying. I had to recover my stuff, and on top of that, also, uh, we just got blaze spawners because of apotheosis. You can grab them using silk touch. So yeah, we went ahead and just did that. Nothing else really needs to be stated other than that. Um, so yeah. One last thing I wanted to show off because I thought it was funny. I made netherite blocks, as you can see, for the portal flame because might as well since we have so much netherite still. And this is like not even the half of it, as if we come over to here. Yeah, no, that's a lot of ancient debris, and we can dupe it all and make a bunch of netherite. We didn't even grab all of the scrap. We have a lot of scrap left over. So, as you can imagine, netherite's not really a problem, so I decided to splunder and put it onto this because it looks cool. Right. And, yeah, the mod just said, now we're just showing off, is this necessary? I thought I thought that was funny. I got a good laugh out of it when I saw that. So then now we're just grabbing all of the achievements that we ended up unlocking, and this is going to be like the last little bit of the episode, so I hope everybody who has watched has enjoyed. And yeah, this one was a little bit longer because I can't be as concise with live camera me versus past camera me, especially since I talk about a bunch of stuff that I think is going to be relevant and then ends up being not extremely relevant, like the whole sideline that we did of trying to make mystical agriculture for all of the stuff, then realizing that that wasn't actually that difficult to do with create, so we ended up doing create instead. But anyways, have a good day, y'all.